viewers. The floor leaders of the India Alliance have announced a march from the main gate of the old Parliament building to the Vijay Chowk in protest against the suspension of 143 members of Parliament for the remainder of the winter session. And the demonstration is a response to what they perceive as the murder, quote-unquote murder of parliamentary democracy in the country. And the suspension of a significant number of MPs has sparked concerns and opposition within the India Alliance, leading them to symbolically challenge this action by organizing a march to highlight their discontent and advocate for the restoration of democratic principles in the parliamentary process. Those are visuals coming in right now of that march. You can see the parliamentarians, the suspended MPs holding placards there. This is a march by the suspended MPs from the old Parliament building. You can see that old Parliament building in the background to Vijay Chowk. Senior editor Shavan Sen joins us live from Vijay Chowk, getting us all the latest and the latest from Ground Zero. Shavan, of course, right now we are seeing that it's a symbolic protest. They are suspended for the remaining of the winter session, and we are seeing the criticism that they have in fact attracted after what happened in the Parliament, outside the Parliament complex, the mimicking and all the demonstration that took place, the ruckus inside the Parliament, including that too. But this is a march that is perceived as a symbolic protest by the suspended MPs.
Well, in fact, as the fag end of the winter session, one aspect that the opposition parties have basically clung on to is essentially the fact that you have over 100, roughly about 143 opposition MPs, be it from the lower house as well as the upper house, being suspended. And that exactly is what they are saying is a reflection of how this government essentially operates. Let me just quickly give you a glimpse of what's really happening here. As you see the symbolic protest that is being carried out by the opposition parliamentarians, you would have representatives from almost all political parties, starting from the DMK, the Congress Party, as well as the NCP, Samajwadi Party, all of their parliamentarians who are presently here at Vijay Chowk and carrying out this symbolic protest. They largely say that the government has been fearful of the fact that they haven't been able to really come up with a proper report as far as the Parliament security breach is concerned. Just to put this into perspective, how it all started. Remember, the opposition has been demanding that the Union Home Minister Amit Shah should be actually addressing the Parliament, that too in the presence of the Prime Minister. And that is the reason why, remember, there were protests that were taking place inside the Parliament, perhaps also inside the well of the upper house as well as lower house. That is exactly why the decision was largely taken that the MPs would be. Let's also listen to what Mallikarjun Kharge has to say.
Of this government.
Kharge sir, BJP is saying that opposition is not in the house, at least the business is happening in the house, bills are getting passed.
अगर यही है तो सबको बाहर डाल के तुम अकेले ही करो. टीवी इंटरव्यू में उसमें बात कर सकते
के बाद. Well, you've already had Mallikarjun Kharge just responding to the questions posed by the media here at the Vijay Chowk. Remember, the opposition MP is essentially indicating two aspects. One, the very fact that this government has been fearful of the opposition, and the bills that have been now passed in the Parliament or about to be passed, for instance, the criminal code bills which was passed yesterday in the Lok Sabha and is going to be placed here in the Rajya Sabha. Opposition says that let the government now pass all these bills without the presence of the opposition. You would essentially have perhaps a parliament virtually free of the opposition parties. That is the reason why, if you take a closer look at the placards that have been that they've been holding right now, they've all been essentially indicating two things. And one, the very fact that they say that Parliament has been completely caged, democracy has been expelled. These are some of the responses, these are some of the placards that have been taken up by the opposition parliamentarians. We'll try and also hear in from some of the opposition parliamentarians with regards to what do they have to say, because you would have every political party who has been representing here. Just take a look at the representation that has been made here, starting from the Samajwadi Party, the DMK. You have almost every political party who's present. We will try and also get you a quick response from some of them. Let's while we do that, while they are also speaking to the other media, you would largely see all of them raising these very concerns that it does not really matter whether the opposition parties remain inside the parliament or not, and that is exactly why
the high-level inquiry is going on. We are willing to talk about it, but the opposition is not. Prahlad Joshi said that the high-level inquiry is going on. They are willing to talk about it, but the
Where did he say that? Where did he say that?
He said it at the parliament.
No. We asked the Home Minister, who is in charge of the security of the nation, what is wrong in that? The parliament is supreme. The executive is accountable to the parliament. They should respect if the parliament is not sessions, okay, they make a statement anywhere. But here, we are all here. The parliament, the very big forum is there. It's an entity. They are not prepared to respect that. So people should understand. What prevents them from coming to the parliament and making a statement and giving explanations? Even that sort of simple courtesy, they don't have.
Thank you, sir.
Well, you do have, you already have the opposition MPs' responses now coming in, starting from the DMK. You have the Samajwadi Party also now responding to the very fact what they say is that perhaps the government today is largely running minus the opposition without the parliament. They also say that what is it that the government is exactly so fearful of, and why exactly are they essentially hoping that they would be able to run the parliamentary business without the presence of... I'll just quickly also... Joining us here, Mr. Wilson. Let me first begin by asking you this question, that the government on the one hand says that this was unruly behavior on the part of the parliamentarians, and that is why the decision was largely taken. And the very fact, as far as the parliamentary security breach is concerned, it is not the domain of the Union Home Minister, but rather the domain of the Speaker itself. It comes under him, and that is the reason why there was no need for a response really coming in from the Union Home Minister. Mr. Wilson, as a senior parliamentarian of the DMK, how do you really respond to what the government has been saying?
Sir, I would say that you can't say that the Speaker alone is responsible, because the conspiracy has taken place outside the House. Outside the House, 5 to 6 persons have involved in this complete incidents. They have planned for about more than a year. That is what the prosecution has submitted before the Delhi High Court. So for over a year, in 3 or 4 states, all ruled by the BJP government. And these persons' background also shows that they are from the BJP party. And the person who has given the pass also is a BJP MP. So therefore, this doesn't start and end inside the parliament. So you can't tell that Speaker alone is the responsible person. It is outside the House. So therefore, when the conspiracy has taken place outside the House and then executed inside the House, therefore the Home Minister, he is squarely responsible to answer for this. See, one part is the execution. That is a breach. There is a breach. So anyone who jumps inside the house, that too in Lok Sabha, when the Lok Sabha session is going on, certainly the MP will ask, what is the problem? What is the problem with the security? And what has really happened in this issue? And time and again, the minister used to come and make the statement. Take, for example, the Sri Lankan issues or the aggression issues. That particular minister used to come inside the house and he used to make a statement. But here, it has happened inside the house, and the conspiracy has started outside the house. What prevents Mr. Home Minister to come inside the house and make a statement? Why don't you take the MPs into confidence and tell them, like, this has happened, I will take action and I will find out who's the real person behind. Why are you fearing away? So, last time when the Manipur issue took place, the Prime Minister did not come. Now, right under everyone's nose, this has happened, and the Home Minister is shying himself in answering the questions. So, therefore, you can't find fault with the Speaker alone.
Mr. Wilson, we're talking at a time when very crucial criminal reforms are being brought in. As a senior lawyer too, I want to ask you this question. Minus with the opposition not being present today, these bills are going to be placed before the Rajya Sabha. Don't you think it is going to be detrimental for the country if the opposition is not present inside the parliament, especially at a time when the country is going to witness a criminal reform, which is going to be extremely crucial, which has been being demanded by several stakeholders, by several experts?
That is why I said you should not have suspended the member of parliament. So your entire intention is to suspend the member of parliament, move the bill and see to that the bill gets passed. The bill actually is against the judgment of Supreme Court. It is against the constitutional rights guaranteed under the Constitution. And if you see the powers of the police, it is like more or like a draconian law. And whatever that is said in the UPA, which is applicable to a terrorist, now it has been imported. And every citizen is going to suffer because of this law. So that is why they don't want the MPs inside, and that is why they have suspended all of us. And that is the reason they have moved this bill when the MPs are not there. So therefore you are right. The Treasury bench should have thought that our presence is important. They should have asked the Speaker to revoke the suspension and make the MPs to participate. Instead of that, they have seen to that we are kept outside the House and the bill is hastily passed. See, what is the purpose in having a bill sent to the Parliamentary Committee? Please tell me, who are all in the Parliamentary Standing Committee? The Standing Committee consists of no doubt certain lawyers and some member of parliament. Is that the whole system, criminal justice delivery system? You should go nook and corner of India, seek the comments of the stakeholders, the experts, the lawyers, association, judges, police officers, bank officials, because you are going to change a decade-old law. Of course, it is more than 30 or 40 years. So you should have taken to confidence of all the stakeholders. So the way they are rushing it shows that they have planned and seen that the members of parliament are kept away from the House and the bill is passed.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wilson, for joining us on Republic TV. That was senior DMK leader also really coming in and talking about the fact that, the government perhaps did not really want the opposition to be present. We'll try and get in some more word from the other opposition leaders who've been speaking to the media. Remember, largely what the opposition members have been targeting at the fact that why is it that the government hasn't really come out in the open and really spoken about this entire matter? What stops from the Union Home Minister to really respond to this?